Welcome to the show, guys. We are talking about 5 quarterbacks I love for fantasy football 2022. Unapologetic about their ADP. I don't care if they're coming off in round 1. I don't care if they're coming off in round 20. I love these guys. ADP doesn't matter. I just love these guys. I think some of them for value, some of them just because I absolutely love them. But 5 quarterbacks I love for fantasy football 2022. Going to dive into this show. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And in the comments, I want to make this super interactive, guys. Drop a comment. Let me know who you love at the quarterback position this year for fantasy. Now, you could say, well, I like this guy because he's in the 6th round. He's my value guy. I love the value. Okay. Drop it below. Love to get that feedback, all right? Now, every show I'm starting off with story time with the counselor, so I want to get into story time in a second. Also, I want everybody to write down, pause the video, stop the video. If you are listening to this right now in the car, pull over, get the 16-round draft. So, you guys, this is the game changer, okay? Optimal players drafted each round, sleepers, breakouts, everything you need to crush your year-long leagues, guys. Get the 16-round draft solution. I cover 2 quarterback league talk. I cover everything for you guys. All the rookies. Who's the rookie that's going to break out? When do you get them? Everything is there, guys. 16-round draft solution. Just Google it. Head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com or click here below on YouTube. Grab it. Use code TUBE20. Save yourself 20%. All right, guys. Let's dive into this now. Story time. I got a bit of a cold today. Right. It's one of those days where body aches. Right. Runny nose. Headache. I was like, you know what? I'm going to pound through this show because yesterday I took a day off. I rarely take days off. Now, we are still in the off season technically, but we are ramping up. So I took a bit of a day off yesterday, spent it with the family, took, the kids to the amusement park. Great day. But today it just hit me. I don't know what it is. I rarely get sick, so I've been smashing that vitamin C, getting those vitamins in, and just trying to get better, man. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to pound through this for you guys. And sometimes you may not feel up to doing whatever you want to do, whether you're sick or whatever. Sometimes you just got to push through it. And that's why I do what I love, which is fantasy football. I'm super passionate about it, so I can force myself through these things. And it doesn't really feel like forcing it. I'm just going to pound through it anyway, and I actually enjoy what I do. So that's my story today. It's like, if you don't feel like doing something sometimes, just do it. Like working out, there's so many days I just don't feel like working out. But it's those days where you don't feel like it, then when you're actually done doing that positive thing for your body or mind, you just feel better right after that. Man, I'm so glad I pushed through it. I could have just sat down and watched another episode on Netflix of whatever show, and, you push through it. So I'm hoping you guys push through your adversities, whatever it may be. And speaking of Netflix, by the way, I was sick yesterday. I just ended up finishing Stranger Things. I think it's the latest one. See, what is it? Season 4. I can't keep track anymore. I think there's a part 2 coming out after. Great show. I found the first episode a little slow that I picked right up. Super entertaining all the way through. So Stranger Things caught up. Drop a show below. Let me know what you guys are watching as well. All right, let's talk about these 5 quarterbacks that I love. First guy here. Now, I'm not going to be apologetic at all about this guy, but I will not be drafting him. As crazy as it sounds. Like, Joe, you love him. Well, why aren't you drafting him? The guy I'm talking about is Justin Herbert. The guy has been putting on some muscle. He's been putting on some weight. Okay, I don't know what he's at right now, 240 plus pounds. I'm not even sure, but I know he's put on weight. Okay, I don't know, it's been going up and down. But Justin Herbert is a guy that I was telling you guys I loved last year, 60 rounds. He was a value in the 5th, 6th round. I was getting him in all my leagues. Finished second amongst quarterbacks last year. Guess where he's sitting this year? Second. And that's the problem, guys. It's like these guys, I've been telling you guys, when they are the value picks, people are just scooping them up. Right? Like Josh Allen was a guy I got years ago what everybody else was drafting. Who? Guess what? Guess who? Baker Mayfield. There was a post. I got to go back and check it. Okay, I got to post this and put it out everywhere. It was a couple of years ago. Everybody laughed at me and said I should be institutionalized because I actually had Baker Mayfield, believe it or not, below Allen in my rankings. Now, I'm not a big rankings guy, but I just said Allen is better than Baker Mayfield. People are like, you're crazy, you're nuts. How could you say that? You're nuts. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm right. So Allen now, pretty much number 1 quarterback off the board. Herbert last year, I said he's the value guy. Now he's number 2. And I really feel both these guys can sustain their value. I mean, with quarterbacks, what you see is what you get. But now you're going to have to overpay for them, right? So you're going to try to find some values later, and I talk about that in the 60-round draft solution if you don't want to pay. So going back to Herbert, I may not draft him, but I love him. Okay, I think he's just one of the best, if not the best, young quarterback in the NFL. Great talent, great arm, good weapon, and that offensive scheme has not changed at all. Like from coaching to offensive weapons, everything's pretty much the same. You're only going to get an improvement and rapport with everybody on the field. So I like Herbert this year. Am I drafting him? Probably not, unfortunately, because I don't want to pay a second or third round pick. I'm loading up on running backs there. Okay, so who do you draft later? Let's give you a couple other guys I love here at the quarterback position. And the second guy here is Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady, what you see is what you get. Old GOAT. Now, he is 9th on the consensus rankings right now. Still expensive, but he's got the weapons, he's got the talent, he's got the accuracy. And again, you can say that the fix is in, whatever you want. This guy's getting another Super Bowl before he retires. He didn't come back to finish second. You know, whether the fix is in or whether he actually does it himself or whether the league keeps promoting him and giving him that superpower team, you know, whatever. Tom Brady's getting another Super Bowl. Now, he, again, is pretty, not expensive. He's 9, so you can get him after the 5th round or beyond, depending. Again, we're not talking 2 quarterback leagues. We're talking 1 quarterback league. In a 2 quarterback league, it varies. Typically, the top 6 quarterbacks come off in the first round. Right? That's what I found, right? Or maybe even, they come off in the first, second. The top 10 quarterbacks come off in the first, second rounds. We're talking standard 1 quarterback league, 1 point PPR. Doesn't really matter so much with quarterbacks with points per reception. But Brady, you can get after the 5th round. I would say I've seen Russell Wilson, Brady fall as late as the 8th round, which is pretty wild. So Tom Brady's a guy, again, weapons, consistency, volume, what you see is what you get. You're going to get yourself a solid quarterback, and you're getting him for a good deal. So if you want to anchor your team with a solid quarterback in a 1 quarterback league, which is the majority of the leagues, not a lot of people do the 2 quarterbacks or super flexes as much as they do the single quarterback league with the flex of tight end, wide receiver, running back, which is fine. Tom Brady's a value quarterback this year, and I like the upside, okay? Or not even upside. I like the safety, all right? Love him this year. Value's there, okay? Continuing on with value, the next 3 guys are going to be major value. And, the last 2 are going to be great backups with upside, okay? So third guy here I absolutely love this year. And again, there's so many other quarterbacks that are going to be great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, your Jalen Hurts could have a big season this year. Your Joe Burrow, but you're going to have to pay high for Joe Burrow. Pat Mahomes is going to be solid, right? He lost his number 1 receiver, so maybe a decline there, right? There's a ton of guys, right? Trevor Lawrence may take a step up this year. He's got some weapons now. Christian Kirk, not the greatest, but he's got a weapon. So I'm telling you, there's so much depth at the quarterback position. I mean, Trey Lance can come in and tear it up, right? Trey Lance gets a starting job, comes in, tears it up. But let's focus on my list again. But I'm just telling you, there's so much depth at quarterback. So Russell Wilson's number 3 here. I like the new home. I like the new revival of his career there, right? With the Broncos. He's got Sutton. He's got Judy. He's got Patrick. He's got Melvin Gordon to catch the ball in the backfield. Not the greatest situation for a committee if you're drafting Javonte, but Javonte and Melvin, good combination in reality. Good combination to help Russell Wilson. And I really think Sutton and Judy could really step up this year. Apparently, Judy's charges have been dropped. I don't know whether he's still, there's going to be a suspension looming, but I do like the upside of Judy. Now, he's only like a 3-touchdown guy over the past 2 seasons, Judy. He's been injured, hasn't gotten it going, had a slew of crappy quarterbacks throwing on the ball. Now he's got Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson now wanting to make a statement. And I'm not going to say Russell was at the end of his career, but he's in the second half of his career, I would say, later second half. So he's ready to go out strong. I think it's going to be a good year for him, barring any type of injury. He should be good. And I really like Russell Wilson this year as value. Like, I can get him in the 6th, 7th round, anchor my team with an ace quarterback, and I'm good to go. And if you go back and look, Russell Wilson's a guy that almost always, finishes in the top 10 amongst quarterbacks. Like, it's almost like clockwork with this guy. Now, last year had a bit of a down year. That's fine. Again, I think he was at the end of the rope. I felt he needed a change, and he finished, 15th amongst quarterbacks. But every other year, if he's healthy, this is a top 5 quarterback. And what happens is the sheep sleep on him. Every year he has a bad year. Okay, so again, he didn't have the greatest year in. Let me pull up 2020's numbers here. Yeah, sixth amongst quarterbacks in 2020. Finished the full season. So again, this guy's always in conversation for top 5 potential. He's had a couple of down years. Finished 3rd amongst quarterbacks in 2019. And as soon as the sheep see him fall off, they jump off, right? So I'm jumping back on this here. It's Russell Wilson. So love the value. You could call him a fantasy football quarterback sleeper this year. That's how much value you have with him. Love him, okay? Number 4 here, another guy that's great talent. Now, 2019 finished 11th amongst quarterbacks. In 2020, again, this guy just hasn't been having the greatest seasons as of late. Matt Ryan, the guys I'm talking about, he finished 12th in 2020. And last year just didn't have the greatest season at all. He's always finishing like just outside the top 10. Well, he has been the past couple of years. I mean, 19th last year, had a down year. But again, another guy at the end of this rope, Matt Ryan at number 4. Absolutely love him this year, though. Great talent around him. Now, you could say, well, Joe, his receivers aren't that good. He's got Campbell, he's got Pippen, he's got Alec Pierce, one of the best deep threats coming out of this rookie draft at wide receiver. I think the targets are going to be there. I think the volume's going to be there for these guys. From Matt Ryan, he's going to keep feeding them. He likes to throw a lot. I think they're going to eat. I think they're going to do fine. So I think wide receiver is not an issue. I think Pierce is really going to step up. He's a great fantasy football wide receiver sleeper. He's got a good O-line. He's got Jonathan Taylor. It's a good organization, the Colts are. And I think Matt Ryan, I think this is the perfect home for Matt Ryan. If you were to say, where can Matt Ryan go and he could actually thrive? And actually, like, let's put Matt Ryan in a situation where he could actually thrive. This is it. Now, again, he doesn't have that Devontae Adams type receiver with him. By the way, Derek Carr, I've been telling you he sucks for years. And now he's got no excuses, by the way. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here. Like, Derek Carr has got 0 excuses this year. He's got the best wide receiver in the league. By the way, I'm not drafting Adams because of Derek Carr, but that's a whole other topic. So, Matt Ryan, again, good O-line. Love him. Great value going undrafted in one quarterback league, sitting 20th on the consensus rankings because he finished 19th last year. So they simply copied and pasted him over with no talk about him finally having time to throw, finally a good O-line. The guy throws more than anybody else in the league. He's going to have a possible record year in his career. He's going to come out strong this year. He's a veteran. He's strong. He's accurate. From Frank Wright, what he's saying is that Matt Ryan looks amazing with his timing and his passing accuracy. So Matt Ryan, again, super excited. Love him this year, right? Number 5 here, ceiling doesn't excite me too much, but as a backup quarterback to cover my bye weeks, cover potential injury, and cover a lack of performance potential from my starter. So a backup quarterback, love this guy. Again, we've talked about Herbert, early guy. You know, Brady and Wilson being solid, Matt Ryan bouncing back on a good team. But this guy is that young quarterback that's a value. And the guy I'm talking about is Mac Jones. Why do I like Mac Jones, guys? Very simple. He's on an efficient offense with great coaching. We saw Brady thrive with the Patriots. And Mac Jones in his rookie year, okay? We're talking rookie. This guy just coming out of the gate, finally getting into the groove, didn't really get it going, okay? Last year finished 19th amongst quarterbacks. So you say, well, Joe, 19th isn't that good. I know, but listen, there could be some solid improvements here. His ratio of 22 touchdowns to 13 interceptions, that's going to get corrected, right? So, guys, first year jitters, rookie coming in, expect that to go up. His interceptions hopefully to come down, right? And then I think his wide receivers aren't the greatest, similar to Matt Ryan, but I think he can make it happen with Myers there, Jacoby Myers, Parker, and they've got Bourne there. I mean, it's not like I'm looking at these wide receivers and saying, oh my God, like this is going to be the best offense in the NFL, but they managed to do it efficiently. They move the ball down the field. He's going to be safe. He's going to throw some touchdowns when he needs to. If he needs to get a couple of feet on the ground, I think he could do that as well. Kendrick Bourne has some upside. Jacoby Myers, these names aren't like, again, stellar, like amazing names, but I think he can get it done, like I said, in fantasy as a backup quarterback with that QB1 upside. So I don't know. I love the opportunity. I love the youth here. I love the opportunity for this guy to be a hidden gem later, and you have him on your bench as a backup, it could really emerge. Again, it's kind of like that. I don't know, right? There's more upside guys you can get later as your backups with more ceiling if that's the choice you want to make. But if you want a safer backup with upside, then Mac Jones is your choice. Like I'm looking at quarterbacks here that you get as your backup that have way more ceiling. Tua is around the same ADP as him. Actually, no, Tua comes off a lot earlier. Mac Jones is actually 24th on the consensus, on the consensus rankings. You get a James Winston, right, at 22 ADP, right, amongst quarterbacks. He's going to probably throw a lot of interceptions, right? You get a Tannehill. He's super safe. Again, another safe guy. Trevor Lawrence, 19th, right? A little more ceiling, but again, a little more risk. So it's up to you who you guys want as your backup. You get Mariota, Atlanta. You never know if he keeps his job, right? Kenny Pickett, if he takes a starting job. So upside, good receivers, good targets. But if you want a safe guy that has that top 10 potential, it's going to be efficient, that could be a QB1, Mac Jones is the guy. I think he's being completely slept on. I think he performs, man. Is he the next Brady? No. We never know. But I think the value is there. All right, guys? So Herbert, Brady, Wilson, Matt Ryan, and Mac Jones. 5 quarterbacks I love, some for value. And Herbert, I just love the guy. I think he's the best quarterback in the league potentially, right? Josh Allen's good too. Obviously, you can make an argument there with Pat Mahomes who the greatest quarterback is, but I think Herbert eventually takes that and prevails. Because I think with Pat Mahomes losing Hill, that's going to hurt him. I think we've seen the ceiling out of Pat Mahomes. We saw that 50 touchdown season a couple years ago. I still think Herbert hasn't peaked yet. So that's where I'm liking Herbert a little bit more. All right, guys, new to the channel, subscribe. I appreciate you. Get that 16-round draft so you will crush your leagues. Go use code TUBE20, save yourself 20%. Drop a comment below. Which quarterback do you love? Drop it. Appreciate you guys. I'm out.